We respectfully request the Sangha of great virtues for the sake of this assembly and all living beings. Please turn the wonderful Dharma wheel to teach and guide us how to end birth and death, leave suffering and attain bliss, and quickly realize non-birth. Cung thính đại đức tặng thịnh, vì thứ pháp hội cấp nhất thiết chúng sanh. Thịnh chiến diệu pháp luân giao đạo ngã mùng, như há liêu sanh thoát tư ly khổ đạc lạc, tất chứng vô sanh. Homage to the Blessed, Noble, and Perfectly Enlightened One. Nam mô Sa Đan Tô Sư Chế Đô Ye Ở La Hờ Đi San Miao San Pu Tô Xie. Nam mô Tát Đắc Tha Tu Ya Đa Ya A La Ha Đế Tam Miệu Tam Bồ Đà Thoáng. The unsurpassed, profound, subtle, and wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million aeons is difficult to encounter. Now that I'm able to see and hear, I will receive and maintain it. I vow to fathom the thus come one's true and actual principles. Wu shang sheng sheng wei miao fa bai jian wan jie nan zao yu, wo jin jian wen de shou chi, Yuan Jie Ru Lai Zhe Shi Yi. O Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Holy Master Ching Liang, Holy Master YongHua, all good monks and nuns, and all good no advisors of Emitofuo. 诸佛菩萨、精良大士、师父、上人、各位出家人、各位善知识、弥陀佛。Chư Phật Bồ Tát, kính thưa Thanh Lương Đại sư và Thượng Tiến Hóa, quý thầy cô và quý vị thiện tri thức A Di Đà Phật. Hello everyone. Today is the the 5th of November 2023. We're here in Wei Mountain to continue discussing the first chapter of the Avatamsaka Sutra. How long have you been doing this? A year, right? Almost? We're not even close to finishing it. And we have 40 years and 40 chapters. Can we talk about this? Okay, 342. I jump right into it. Background information as a reminder. We are... this section here, they list out the who's who in the celestial heavenly kings that ruled over the first Yana heavens, the lowly first Yana heavens. Okay, and they send even the big shots, the Mahasattvas, there to do the work. It's an overkill, and this is how many of us there are. We have nothing else to do. They have one God. We have oodles and oodles of Mahasattvas who have nothing to do. Okay, so they are with the first this section here. First listed out the 10 leaders the big names of the rulers in the first dhyana heavens, and after that, the one of the celestial ruler by a certain name uttered this praise, these verses. All right, oceans of Dharma doors, as many as motes of dust in Buddha lands, can be proclaimed completely in a single sentence.
佛刹围城法门海，一言演说尽无余。
Whoa. So he says here, the Buddhas can proclaim oceans of Dharma doors, and you can count them as many as motes of dust in the Buddha lands. You know, here we keep on hearing of this concept, motes of dust, okay? Meaning that you take a particle of dust and you separate them by 7. And you take the 1/7 and you separate some more and you separate some more until it's near emptiness. You can measure that kind of precision. Okay, you have a mote of dust. Okay, and so you see these infinitely many types of Dharma doors, not just 84,000 Dharma doors, as the Indians like to say. Okay, Avatamsaka Sutra, Anna, we are free from all these preconceived notions of what a big is. Okay, that's a concept. In India, where this Buddhism came from, 84,000 is just a lot. Okay. Back then, the Indians were not as good in numerical analysis as they are nowadays. You know, in mathematics, the Indians are one of the best in numerical analysis. That's a study of numbers in mathematics. They're one of the best. Okay, and so back then they didn't have that kind of mathematical science, so they use the word 84,000. 10,000 is a lot, and multiply by 8 and add another 4,000 just to be on the safe side, so that you are confused. Okay, so we have as many Dharma doors as are needed to save all sorts of living beings. In other words, as many as problems you have, Buddhism has as many Dharma doors to fix them. I tell you, the Hinayana people, they don't have this kind of numerology, okay? You know, this is incredible. This is inconceivable. They can be proclaimed completely in one sentence, okay? One sentence can proclaim innumerable Dharma doors. And Master Shua explained it as, when you talk about, see, Mahayana teaching is real mark. Okay, whatever it means, is real mark. Real mark means that there's no mark, and therefore it also means that no mark, yet no mark is not devoid of marks. That's how Master Shua explained it. You got it? Yeah, of course. What happened to my Catholic nun? She disappeared. She's what? She went to the heavens? What? Auckland. Oh, okay, Auckland. She went to see her mom. Yeah, okay. Anyway. So Master Shimon says, you know, he's talking about real mark, and real mark is no mark. No mark is not devoid of marks. Got it? You know what it means? Anyone? I'm not betting anymore. I lost 200 the last 2 days. That's it. No more bets for me. Yes, sir. No prize anymore. What is he talking about?
Thank you, Master. Because we still have the concept of no mark, so we still have a concept, so a mark. So he's saying that not even that, like just emptiness, just nothing.
No. Anyone else? See? That's what they do over there. They say real mark is no mark, and yet no mark is not without mark. And everyone says, yeah, very good, very good. Yeah? What is he talking about? How does he justify that he can utter countless Dharma doors in one single sentence? Anyone? Come on. Come on. You students of Buddhism, of Mahayana, experts of Mahayana, what is he talking about? It's funny, no one even asked. Bother ask him. Okay, that's here riddle. 5.
Thank you, Master. I don't know what he's talking about. I'm thankful.
Why did you raise your hands, by the way?
Because when you asked about the ability to put as many Dharma doors, as many motes of dust into a single sentence, that's a profoundly capable compression algorithm.
Incredible, isn't it?
The amount of data that can fit is profound to me.
Yeah. Okay, anyone else? What do you have to say for yourself? Yeah, in the back.
Master, I confused about the real mark is no mark, and yet no mark is not devoid of mark. Does he mean that he dropped the concept of no mark, or he mean that like it's no mark and everything with mark is also real mark?
I said this a few times in the past. It's not something that you're supposed to understand. All I want you to do is memorize it. Chinese is very good. It's very precise. Unfortunately, the translation is the translation. But it's best if you know Chinese, memorize in Chinese. 实相就是无相，无相就是无相，不相。Huh? Just memorize it. And one day you say, wow, that's what it means. Okay? Until then, just memorize it. Something people talk about real mark, he says, real mark is no mark. And no mark is not without marks. That's all you say. And people are supposed to do, very profound, very profound. And when they ask you, what does it mean? You say, just memorize it. In the future, you understand. I gave you the answer already. Yeah, 8.
Yes, Master. I too am confused about this, trying not to think about it too much, but may I beg to ask one question about mark?
Yeah.
Can a mark be of no substance?
Can mark be of no substance? Mark here refers to characteristics that your sense organs can discern. Your mind can discern things, your eyes can discern things, your ear can discern things. Whatever you can discern through your sense organs, all 6 of them, is a mark.
Thank you.
Okay, that's all it is. So it refers to your sense organs. All right? Whatever your sense organs can detect, that's a mark. That has a mark. Whatever you can detect, that thing there, that object, that Dharma there, has a mark. Anyone else? Yes, Colombia.
Thank you, Master. I just want to add a little bit about a commentary about what Peter just said, that it's an incredible amount of information in one sentence. But the way I see it is that the truth is so simple that it can fit in one sentence, yet our mind makes everything so confusing. That's the way I see it.
Okay, makes sense. I agree with that. Okay, everything can be compressed into one equation. Yeah, that's it. Isn't that what you do at your school? Anyway, never mind. Huh? You're an engineering professor. Don't you compress everything into one equation? A few. Anyone else? What are we talking about? You give up? No one? Okay. If Master YongHua explains it this way, it's very true, but you won't understand it. So that's why I thought of a simpler explanation that will help you relate to it. If we cannot explain it to you, we should give you an analogy. How's that? That's what Buddhists do. Instead of, I first quote him because I want you to memorize this concept of real mark, no mark, and so forth. And memorize this phrase, okay? Real mark is no mark, yet no mark is not devoid of marks. Okay? That's all you have to do. And one day, I promise you, you say, wow, it is so profound. It's beautiful. Then you'll be jumping up and, oh, it is so wonderful life is. English is so beautiful. Yeah? Okay. That's all you have to do. What he's talking about is this. I explain his first, and I give you a simpler explanation, analogy for you. When the Buddha speak Dharma to us, okay, he's a Buddha. So whenever he speaks about real marks. Is that clear? That's his language. His language is real marks. And everyone, each single living being type understands it according to their own species. And that's how the standard corporate line is in Mahayana. Okay? But basically, Buddha speaks in real mark language. It's not English, it's not Chinese, it's not Sanskrit, it's not Espanol, it's not Japonais, it's not Korean, okay? It's real mark language, okay? That's how he speaks. When he was in Korea, it sounded like Sanskrit. It sounded whatever like language that those beings are used to listening. Okay? But he spoke in real mark. So far, so good. Okay? It's we who understand it differently ourselves. But that one sound there is a real mark, is a sound of real mark. Sounds cool, doesn't it? Yeah? You never heard like this before. It's like you sing a song, and it includes Taylor Swift and Beatles and Bee Gees and, AC/DC and, and country music and so forth. Everything all at once. And all of a sudden, he hears it, what do you call your music at your church? What is it called again? Huh? Catholic music? Soul music, something, Southerners. What happened to South Carolina? Gospel music, thank you. Gospel music, you see, they hear it. You know, he just sings a song, but he hears gospel music. Some, you know, here he hears like a Marine marching. Oh, no. Okay, so each one of us hears it the way we want to hear. It understands it the way you're capable of understanding. That's what Buddha does. That's why, think about it. Remember, the concept is when he spoke Dharma, each one of us listens and hears it, understands it according to our own species. Look at that. It's not just humans. It's gods. It's all living beings. Now you understand why that in one sentence it can be understood of many different Dharma doors. Why? Each Dharma door is designed to transform and save each and every single living being. Ailments, illnesses, weaknesses, and so forth. Does it help? No applause? This is a very profound concept. My God. Thank you. The guy is so excited. Look at him. Yeah, look at the sign. Okay, got that? Okay. Another analogy for you. Okay, that's the explanation in terms of real mark and no mark and so forth. Okay. Another simpler analogy for you is that the teachings is multi-layered. For example, a very smaller scale like us. When I speak Dharma to you, the levels, all of you have different levels. See this? And if the Dharma is spoken to you in a way that is not of interest to you, you stop coming. So each one of you hears the Dharma based on your interest, based on your level of comprehension, based on samadhi power, based on wisdom and so forth. Okay? So actually, when we speak Dharma, actually it's multiple audiences at different levels, if you will. So that's why I remember when I was at Long Beach Monastery a long time ago, when I was a novice, the Dharma master there started reaching the Vietnamese. Master Sheho sort of ignored the Vietnamese. Okay, so he started reaching the Vietnamese. So something like every Friday night he would lecture on the Avatamsaka Sutra, and something like 60 of the Vietnamese would drive from Bosa to Long Beach Monastery to listen regularly. 60 of them. And after the lecture, okay, and you see a little bit later on, after the lecture, the Dharma master was so drained. How can you tell? You have to speak Dharma to 60 people. That's multi-layered meaning, okay? And it's a lot more work than you realize, these lectures. And you can tell because the lips become dark. When you're not thinking, your lips are pink. With how, if you don't wear lipstick, they're pink. Not hers, but in general, they're pink. When you don't think, your lips are pink. When you think too much, your lips become dark. You notice that? So when you go on a date, and the lips starts going from pink to purple, and you know you're in trouble. When they're still pink and they look happy, then got that? How do I get into dating again? Any questions? Okay, so the Dharma has to be multi-layered, has to address and appeal to the audience at different levels. Do you see? So one simple sentence has to be tailored or targeting various levels. You see that? If Buddha teaches Dharma, his intentions are to teach all living beings who are able to tune in. Okay? Then, and in the future, think about it. Buddhas don't have the notion of time like we do. Okay? Like we done, and I say, okay, it comes 2 o'clock, I'm done. Hallelujah. Okay? No, Buddha says, I speak Dharma, actually I keep on speaking Dharma until the end of time. Never mind. Moving on. I won't try to overwhelm you. Yet oceans of aeons would not be time enough to describe them all. Light of wholesome reflective wisdom is liberated thus.
如是解海眼不穷，善思慧光之解脱。
Okay, we keep it simple now. Okay, I won't try to go too deep and lose Catholics. He looks so comfortable every single time. I envy you. I sit up here, I used to see demons there, this side here, a demon right there. I would lecture him. Seriously, what are you doing here? Anyway, and then Catholics used to be in that corner, now they're over here. You know, he's the most relaxed and happiest of you all. And the girlfriend's always uptight. Okay. Cool. So it's not enough time. If you have to measure in terms of time, Buddha's knowledge, what Buddhas want to tell us, it's not enough time. Okay? Very much like this Avatamsaka Sutra here, there isn't enough time to even recite it. It's endless. All right? Because we're limited. So we can only be transmitted 40 chapters from India to China, and from China to the US. 40 chapters, and we can't handle it. Think about it. 1 year per chapter, maybe 2 years per chapter. That's a lifetime right there. You all are dead before we finish the Avatamsaka Sutra. I be dead before any of you will die. Anyway, okay, let's not be morbid. Light of wholesome reflective wisdom is liberated thus. Okay? What's interesting here to me, I want to point out to you, is that this guy here emits light. This first Yana Heavenly King emits light. And that light that he emits is from wholesome, reflective wisdom. Okay? Meaning that his wisdom arose from wholesome reflection. What's wholesome reflection? Reflection that's wholesome, that's good, that's devoid of evil, devoid of harming thoughts, devoid of selfish thoughts. Is that clear? And when you do that, You emit light. This guy emits light. Yes, sir. 3, 2.
So my question would be, in Buddhism, kings and gods is the same thing, or it's a different persons?
Okay, fair question. What happens in Buddhism? There is different types of living beings. We are called humans. And humans are divided into Catholic versus Buddhists. You see how we classify things. Okay, it's a natural classification. So we humans, they're humans. Even amongst humans, there are different types of humans. Yes, there's Catholic, there's Buddhist, there is Indian, there's Hispanics, there is and so forth. Okay, so you see, they have different types, all sorts of living beings. So far, so good. Even amongst humans, there are all sorts of humans. But it's not just humans here in terms of the living beings. There are also other types of living beings. You heard of it quite often in Buddhism. Living beings who belong to the animal realm. Think dogs, cats, owls, okay, wolves. Okay, so all sorts of living beings, all sorts of animals, okay, and above us, okay, the gods are higher, in a higher state of, a higher plane of existence, where they actually live above us, okay. They govern over the humans, by the way. Humans would like to think they are the masters of the universe. It's not true. Humans are governed by the celestial beings up there. And that's why in Chinese culture, what do they have? They have a concept that Chinese emperors used to call themselves as the sons of the heavens. Because that's a Chinese wisdom. They know that the heavens rule over us in the human realm, like it or not. You can deny it all you want, but the gods have jurisdiction over us. They have the ability to punish us if we misbehave. So far, so good. So there's a lot of power there. The gods towards us, and we towards among ourselves as well, right? I mean, you have presidents who, if they abuse the powers, they can inflict a lot of harm. Okay, so in the natural order of things, every single group has rulers, if you will. Deers have deer king rulers. You think a smaller scale. In the hen house, who's in charge? A rooster. Am I the only one? The rooster is the king of the hen house. The sultan is the king of finish my sentence. What is the matter with you? Who's the sultan? What does he rule over? What is it? You guys don't know anything? So all you know is burgers and hot dogs? What? Kimchi, that's it? What do sultans rule over? The harem. Never mind. You guys have no sense of humor. It's so boring. I can't stand living like you. Okay, so the point here, in answer to your question, you have a group of individuals like this, a group of gods up there. Okay? If there's no one who leads them so that every single celestial being is kept in check and obeys the rules, there will be anarchy, chaos. And that's why in Buddhism, okay, in the proper Dharma, in Buddhism, in Mahayana, in the proper Dharma, we recognize our leader who is a patriarch. We may disagree with him, but when he says, I'm a patriarch, then we listen to him. We won't get in his way. Sometimes. Okay, so that's why the answer to your question, absolutely. In the heavenly king there, for example, your particular case in your faith, the Christian God, the Catholic God, is the celestial king that rules over something called the heaven of 33, Triyas Trimsha. So the Buddha describes it. Okay? All right, next. 346. The Buddha's perfect voice reaches equally to all in the world. Each being attains insight according to its kind.
诸佛原因等世间众生随类各得解。
347. It says here, Buddha has a perfect voice. Whatever perfect voice means to you. Whatever you want to say in terms of perfection, okay, you say, perfection is you to this, okay? And whatever it is, this perfection for the Buddha's voice is unsurpassed. Okay? It cannot be better in terms of pitch, in terms of sound, in terms of whatever you would think of in sound engineering. So what? So far, so good? Okay. So his voice reaches equally to all in the world. Actually, you should translate as his voice, the Buddha's perfect sound. Perfect sound. 等世间 reaches all the worlds. Can be heard in all the worlds. But you don't need to add all here. Okay? All here, they refer to living beings. The Buddha sound reaches all the worlds. Can be heard in all the worlds. That's what it means. Okay? And each living being, yes, go ahead. All the worlds. It's very symbolic. And each 众生随类, each living being attains insight according to its kind. Close enough. Okay, that's not nitpick. The point here is that Buddha's, when he wants to teach us, he uses a sound, and his sound can reach all worlds. So he utters one sound, but we understand it in Spanish, and some other understand it in French, in Vietnamese, in Chinese, and so forth, English, and so forth. Okay? One sound. Remember the real mark later, before that? okay, the real mark there, contains everything. So we extract it accordingly from the compressed file, compressed data. So far, so good? Okay? And so he gave something universal in the Dharma, but then we extract it ourselves accordingly. Okay? And so what is important here, that's not stressed, is that he tries to help each and every single living being. He does not discriminate. That's a Buddha state. Okay? Why? That's the difference between the Buddha and us. I want to point it out to you. He is limitless. We have limitations. Don't sit there and claim that you want to save all living beings. You can't, because you have limitations. So to me personally, for someone to hear someone standing up there and say, I want to save all of you, all living beings, all the people in the Western world, all the Asians, all the Indians. We cannot. We have limitations. Okay? Because you say that, you're boasting. Okay? No one will take you seriously. Next, 348. And yet the sound causes no discriminations. Brahma King, universal sound, awakens thus.
而于音声不分别，普音梵天如是物。
No. Translation doesn't make sense. 于音声不分别 How does it translate as the sound causes no discrimination? Chinese-speaking people, please help me out. You agree with the translation? Zhihong, is she translating? You agree? Let's ask our Chinese translator. Jane translating? Who is the Chinese translator? Ask the translator. Does she agree? Does the translator agree with this translation? This is where this is why I encourage you to learn Chinese, because this is a distortion of the teaching, and you are being poisoned in a purest sense. This is garbage. You take something that's perfect and you twist it, and now it becomes twisted. It's no longer the same thing. Okay? Chinese-speaking people, shred this to pieces. Yes, 5.
Thank you, Master.
What does AI have to say?
That's a good question, Master. I don't know. Jane is responding on YouTube. She's initially saying that she does not agree with the translation. And I've asked her, what is a better translation? I'm waiting to hear back.
Okay. Anyone else who's Chinese, who speaks Chinese? Yeah. Yes, 5.
Thank you, Master. Obviously, I don't speak Chinese, but to me, and yet the sound causes no marks, feels appropriate.
No, it's not marks here. Don't add any concepts. When you translate, you have to translate the words, not the concepts. Okay, yes, go for it.
I think the meaning is that the living beings does not have a mind of discrimination, listening on the sound.
Bad Chinese. Okay, next Chinese person.
Sorry, Master, I cannot see the slide. The living being, does not discriminate on the sounds from the Buddha. That's right.
Another bad Chinese.
Okay.
Next Chinese. What is it saying? It says right there. What is a living being? Where is living being? It says no living being at all. Go ahead, go first. See, all the non-Chinese speaking people say, oh, I'm glad I don't speak Chinese. I'm never telling Chinese now because Master will pick me to pieces. Even if he dares pick on the Chinese. Yeah?
The living beings heard the sound of the Buddha from the previous part of the sentence, and then the next it says, yet it does not, yet they do not discriminate on the sound. 众生随类 Yeah, it's
bad third Chinese person.
It's the same Chinese master. Thank you.
Anyone else? Sang-wook, wake up. You translated the Korean. Explain it to me from Korean perspective. I give up on the Chinese now. Give them a chance to regroup and speak on the Koreans. How do you explain this? In Korean first, and I have someone translate for you. How are we going to learn if we don't talk it over? Sang-wook is very sharp, you know that? See?
Master, I'm sorry, I don't know what the question is.
It's very sharp. You say, you don't notice these things, but I do. Okay, what she does is to disappear. Her desire is to disappear. How do you disappear in a room full of people? How? This is Korean Dharma. This is Korean technology, Samsung technology, man. How do you disappear in a room full of people? Yes, 5.
Thank you, Master. I believe you would wear brown clothing, sitting on a brown bench, and appearing as small as possible.
And it helps to be short. Anyone else? How do you disappear in a room full of people? Yes, 6. This takes really mastery of engineering of disguise.
Sorry, I imagine she's going into samadhi.
Enter samadhi. Okay, anyone else? Oh, she has enter samadhi, another one. Okay, great minds think alike. How do you disappear in a room full of people? Very good. You have the right concepts. Number 1, you don't move. The movement draws attention. See? So you're right. It's about samadhi. Samadhi, you don't move. So far, so good? Okay. Number 2. Even if you don't move, it's still not enough, right? You sit right here, you don't move, I still pick on you. I say, hey, get up, get out of your samadhi. I'm asking you a question. Okay? So, second way is get away from my field of view. Number 3, if you hide behind a column, it only draws more attention from me. So what's the best place? Not too close, not too far. See, I know Korean technology very well. I've been to Korea several times. Never mind. Okay. Yeah. Chinese people, have you caught up with the Chinese technology, Chinese language? Taiwanese people now. You're looking at the wrong side of the equation, all of you. Especially the 3 Chinese in Go Forest. She's looking at from the receiving end. This is talking about the giving end. The Buddha does not choose a sound. The discrimination here refers to the fact he doesn't prefer Sanskrit or English or Korean or Espanol and so forth at all. He does not discriminate when dispensing the teachings. He doesn't say that since I don't speak French, I will only go in other countries. They don't speak French. Make sense? Is that clear? So he's not bound by the sound that he needs to use to teach. And that's how Brahma King universal sound awakens. You see, it's linked here. See the 3 Chinese people in Go Forest, they look at the wrong end, the receiving end. This is from the giving end, where Brahma King universal sound as a proof that he is a sound giver. He awakens to it. He said, that's why he's called universal sound. He does not have to discriminate the sound anymore. Disagree? It feels so lonely sometimes up here. People look at me with a blank stare, and the Catholics disagree with me, and got that? Okay, next. All thus come once in the 3 periods of time, progress towards Bodhi through expedient practices.
3世所有诸如来去入菩提方便行。
Oh, by the way, excuse me. Do the 3 Chinese in Go Forest agree with me? I know I'm going out on a limb trying to criticize the Chinese-speaking people. Huh?
Yes, Master, I agree.
Thank you. 351 commentary slide. Okay. All thus come once in the 3 periods of time, progress towards Bodhi through expedient practices. Very important point. When you cultivate up there, he's talking about the high levels. We're talking about low levels, okay? He's talking about high levels. When you get up there, you get higher and higher, okay? You will need to practice expedience. Okay? So experience are from two different perspectives. Experience that are given to assist you, because someone who has more wisdom than you, the best way for them to help you is to give you experience. Is it clear? You don't force feed people. You have to give them experience, let them choose. And if they're not ready, they quit, so what? But they look at their own selves as failures. And they will learn in the future. You understand? So you give them experience to help them. All right? Similarly, when you help people, okay, I'm describing to you from both ends. When you cultivate, the people who have more wisdom than you are helping you by giving you experience. Okay, that's how you learn. You learn, okay? If you don't run away, you don't quit, then that's how you learn. Okay? And because of that, you know how to use experience to save others. You see how it works? You're receiving on-the-job training. Isn't that cool? How else are you going to be trained? You have to be taught how to use experience. All right? 352, everything culminates with the realization of Buddhahood. God, freedom of sounds, is thus liberated.
一切皆于佛身现，自在因天之解脱。
You know, the way they translate here to me, sometimes I'm offended because it really distorts the teaching. It's unfortunate, okay, for these experts of languages, of Sanskrit, of English, and of Chinese to translate it like this shows they don't understand. What's the proper word for that? We're reaching out to over 100 people, so I don't want to narrow down. I want to make it more PG-13. Okay. It's a total distortion of what this verse is saying. Chinese-speaking people, go ahead. The 3 Chinese in Go Forest, go ahead.
Yes, it's not correct.
Which one is not correct?
The first part.
What about the second part?
Yes, second part is not.
So much pressure being Chinese.
Not correct either. Sorry, I wasn't looking at the second part. Yeah, they're both off.
Okay, Taiwanese in Go Forest. You agree, disagree with the Chinese?
The real Taiwanese left. There's a fake one.
Oh, I can't read Mandarin, so sorry.
You can't remember? Okay. The other Chinese on the other row, in blue, do you agree with the Chinese or not? What happened? What happened to the Taiwanese lady, Sarah? She's not there today? The blue Chinese person, you agree with it?
Emitofuo Master, I have to say I don't know.
I don't know. What's the matter with Chinese Americans? They lost it. They're no longer Chinese. Huh?
I think I understand the Chinese, but I don't understand the English translation.
She understands Chinese, but she does not understand English. And I heard you're a doctor?
Be careful,
Where do you work again, ma'am?
Okay, let me help you.
God.
Let me help you.
How can you be a doctor and not understand English? The patient comes in, hey doctor, I have this problem. Say what? Okay. Is it okay? Can you speak to me in Chinese? Good Lord. Anyone?
No, wait. What is it?
Yes, Vietnamese in the back.
Master, the first sentence should be everything is all manifest within the Buddha body.
There you go.
The second,
you understand it better than the Chinese or Taiwanese, the fake Taiwanese in Gold Forest. He's not a real Taiwanese, that guy. And next one.
The second sentence say, this is the liberation of self-mastery, sound God.
It's not freedom. What is the matter with you? 自在 is not freedom. Freedom is 自由. It's not 自在. Yes? What is the matter with these people? This is insulting to me. This is such a profound teaching, and yet they have managed to distort it so that you, English-speaking people, are confused like heck, and you think you understand the Avatamsaka Sutra, Dharma. This is very Chinese conspiracy. Okay? Change it. Everything manifests at the Buddha's body. God, the God, sound of self-mastery. Tara. Do you translate properly into Korean or not? What did you say?
Master, in Korean, they said, realize the Buddhahood, everything become complete.
No. See, you ask a translator, is it okay? Of course. What he's going to tell you? Yes, it is. Shame on you. Everything manifests within the Buddha's body. You, I translate you as within. Sound of self-mastery. God. Okay? You got that? Chinese-speaking people, agree, disagree? Korean-speaking people, agree, disagree? Okay, so while you're thinking about it, let me move on to my teachings, my lecture. Okay, I'm not going to argue with you anymore. Everything manifests within the Buddha's body. What's another way of saying it? Everything is the Buddha's body. Everything. Isn't that incredible? You should stand up and take a walk and say, this is too much for me. Everything is the Buddha's body. Everything. Okay? Now let me fix my commentary. Fix the Korean too. Everything is B's bod. Okay? And the God's sounds of self-mastery is thus liberated. You see the problem? If every single lecture I correct the translation, it will take twice as long. So instead of 80 years, talking about 160 years. Okay? So, again, delete this commentary, it's nonsense. Okay, moving on. Thank you. Sentient beings all have their own distinct karma. According to the causes, various results occur.
一切众生业差别，随其因感种种殊。
Okay. Very simple. This refers to cause and effect. It says sentient beings all have distinctive karmas, created different kinds of karmas, and accordingly they will receive the various karmic responses, the karmic retributions. That's the concept behind it. I don't care how you translate it. It's got that? Very simple. You create karmas. For example, some of us are like painters, then we create painters' karmas. Some of us are butchers, then we create butchers' karmas. Yes? Some of us are teachers, then we create teachers' karmas. And by the way, what kind of karmas do teachers create? Anyone? They yell at people. So in the future, they'll be slandered, they'll be yelled at, they'll be criticized. Sounds familiar? It's nothing new. You yell at people as a teacher in the future. You'll regret it. Okay, next. Let's not overkill these things. We need to finish this within 1 year, remember? Only have a few weeks left. Chapter 1, to finish chapter 1 in 1 year. The Buddhas make clear that this is the nature of the world. The God's still and quiet brightness awakens thus.
世间如是，佛皆现，极尽光天能悟入。
I feel guilty. I destroy all the translations. And basically, the hard work they put into this is in shambles. Yes, 5. I'm really shocked at how they could even certify this translation. It sucks. It's between us. Yes, 5. Say something nice.
Thank you, Master.
See, that's why I'm criticized, slandered, bad-mouthed. Because that's what I do.
Something nice I could say is the obfuscation and deceitful campaign of the Chinese is working very well.
I ain't touching this with a 10-foot ball.
I understand why the Five Eyes insisted on appearing in an interview on 60 Minutes following this Dharma talk.
The Five Eyes?
Yes, the heads of intelligence committees for Australia.
Oh, yeah, I heard it. Really? It's on tonight?
Last week, Master.
Last week, oh, I will Google it.
And I would especially like to thank you, Master, for drawing our attention to the proper Dharma so we can understand. Because if it wasn't for you pointing this out, I would just follow along with the words as if what's written is what is meant. So thank you. Thank you so much.
Of course. Anyone, yes?
Thank you, Master. Yes, along the same line as Peter said, I think now I'm afraid of reading like sutras because it's so different, the meaning than the actual words.
This is the better translation already. This is the nature of the Dharma. This is why Master YongHua used to take translation very seriously. Unfortunately, he didn't speak the language. So he depended on his disciples to certify these translations. And I feel so bad that they put so much work into this. My own disciples, so when they translate, I ask them to translate Vimalakirti Sutra, whatever. It takes them like 3 months to do one chapter. And I'm saying, seriously? And you don't know how grateful I am. I mean, that's very fast. These people, they spend so much time cross-referencing and all these things, and they fail to do one thing only: understand the Chinese. Yes, 5. All Chinese-speaking people, including the 3 in Gold Forest, and the fake Taiwanese there, and the fake. The authentic Chinese doctor.
In support of our Chinese Dharma family, who I've been very lucky to have conversations over cool projects about. I know that there are very compelling AI transcription tools that I've seen the results for in our Dharma glimpses and how fast and accurate these tools that our Chinese Dharma family have developed work. And I just can't help.
Very impressive. That's true. Thank you. Good job. It's an excellent job. I'm very proud of it. It's the contribution, really is helping us leap into the sphere of inundation of the Dharma in English on the internet.
It's profound innovation that is very much helping us on our path to 10,000 YouTube subscribers.
Really? How far along are we? 1,000?
Thank you for asking.
You're talking big.
Yeah.
I know you talk big.
We just surpassed 3,000 subscribers on YouTube.
And we're talking about 10,000. Is that reasonable? Nah, that's talking too big.
Master, you trained me to aim big. and per your Buddhist problem-solving Dharma glimpse, I can't help but think and offer that the same tools we're using for transcribing video content, perhaps it could help with the initial translation that translators have access to, so that we kind of level set and let AI support our very talented Dharma family and their difficult work.
Yeah, I think they're doing that already, so it makes sense. It saves time. And it goes without saying that I'm so grateful for all your support. I remember my early days in Lu Mountain Temple. I was totally confused. My translation is a lot worse than this one we're looking at. Much worse. How times have changed for us. Yes, Daniel. I'm trying to be nice.
Out of curiosity, where do the translations come from? Who translated the text? Is it from the other temple, or is it from before
this
that?
is the original translation from Master YongHua's disciples. They have their own translation certifying committee that consists of their best and the brightest. And they did a good job until you hit the Avatamsaka Sutra. That's when all your weaknesses are magnified on every single verse. Your stupidity shines. It's a nice way to put it. Yes, Evan.
Master, is it because the Avatamsaka Sutra is at such a high level?
It's very high level. It's for bodhisattvas, not for idiots. So idiots have no business translating this. To tell you the truth, when I first started, I did not dare touch translation. I couldn't understand Chinese enough. Okay, so I depended on these texts, and I'm very grateful for that. But now we're at the phase in our work where we need to take a stand and raise the standards. I don't feel that you should be content with this kind of quality. It's not good enough. It has to be said. And it's okay. Go ahead, insult me and slander me or whatever. You're entitled to that. So am I entitled. I'm too entitled to tell you what I think. Okay? This could be a lot better. This is so wrong. Case in point. What the Chinese saying, the Buddha, the concept here, I don't know how you would translate this because I'm not a translation expert. I'm no good with languages, okay? I'm good at coarse language, not literary language, I like to think. Okay, so what he's talking about here is that all the worlds. This is fascinating. All the worlds as you see it, the Saha world, Western Bliss Pure Land, Vaidurya Pure Land of Medicine Master Buddha, Western Bliss Pure Land Amitabha Buddha, the world here, what's that called again? Saha world, thank you. Saha world here as manifested by Shakmini Buddha. You get it now? That all the worlds are manifested by Buddhas. Is it clear? World don't just boom happen just like that with the Big Bang theory, whatever. This is the inconceivable teaching. Is that all the worlds in the universe are manifested as the Buddha's designs. Nothing is left to chance. Isn't that fascinating? At a macro scale, for you're struggling with your jobs, your family, your future, your children. They drive you crazy. You're overwhelmed by little things like that. Buddhas, they manifest worlds to take care of all of us, including your children, including your family, including your bosses. Isn't it fascinating? If you are in this world right now, Saha world, guess what's happening? The wars, all those things are manifested, okay? It's all happened under the Buddha's designs. Feel better now? Old woman? She doesn't get it. Did you translate for her or not? This morning she asked me, how come there's wars, there's calamities, there's pestilence, people are dying, people are suffering, but people are drowning, and and there's a climate change and so forth. What's happening to the world? It manifested as under the supervision of the Buddha. She doesn't believe me. We say, why is it suffering? Because Buddhas, like God, do not listen to you. The Catholic says, oh God, you abandoned me. I'm suffering so much, you abandoned me. And now the Buddha says, you damn right, I abandoned you. Wake up, man. You create karma, you suffer. Don't blame me. Yes, 6.
Thank you, Master. I was curious. You said earlier that this world is governed or ruled over by the gods, and also Buddha created this world and universe. I was wondering, even though there is destruction in the world and wars, do they offer limits or to how much we can do as far as destroying, or, is there some limit set to that? No. It's limitless.
You can destroy all you want.
So there's no.
You're capable of doing. And guess what? When you're trying to destroy, like demons are trying to destroy our world, guess what? The Catholics are fighting the demons. Can you see that? The Catholics are saying, oh, you bad people, you demons, I will fight you. God will fight you. And demons say, yeah, come boy. Okay? And what do we Buddhists do? Make love, not war. Oh no, that's the Beatles. Okay? So each one of us have our own approaches. Fascinating. Don't misunderstand me. When I said Buddha is manifests his world. So he manifests his world with its own characteristics, and this world here has a way of drawing us there. Okay? Because we're drawn there because of the climate, because of the food, because of the Chinese, the Vietnamese, the Germans and so forth, Hitler and so forth. We're drawn for various reasons, and then we are always spinning, among ourselves. It's all under this world created, manifested by the Buddha. He's not. This is an impure world. He's not promising us that you'll be happy. He said, when you come here, you suffer, man, half the time. Make sense? Now it all makes sense to you? Why sometimes he loves me and most of the time he loves me not? Whew. Never mind, you have no French cultural influence. Okay? Make it clear this is the nature of the world. Since when? The Chinese say this is how the Buddha make clear that this is the nature of the world. It's offensive to me. And then I bought it. Just today, whatever I'm drinking here is helping. It's nonsense. The translation is nonsense. All worlds are manifested as the Buddha wishes, as the Buddhas see fit. Okay? Yes. So here in our world, he manifested, the Chiu Chow people, the Khmer Rouge, the Dalmatians. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Master. Before a being get enlightened, it revolves in the same world, or it can go to different, for example, impure lands.
They can be enlightened anywhere, in a pure land, impure land. Enlightenment can happen anywhere.
No, but before they get enlightened, like for example us, because I'm not enlightened yet, I will be revolving in the same Saha world until I get enlightened, or
revolve. Then depends. It depends on where your retributions take you. Because after you die, all bets are off. Anything could happen. We don't know. There's no guarantee. After you die, anything could happen. It's extremely dangerous after you die. Right now, you have your body, and the body is your shield, okay? Your protection right now. But once you lose this body, anything could happen to pull you anywhere, okay? And whatever the stronger karmas can pull you, they pull you another Buddha's world. That's what happens. That the Buddha manifested for us. So for the sake of translation, all worlds are accordingly manifested by Buddhas. All worlds are manifested by Buddhas accordingly. Okay? That's the first line. And the God, still and quiet brightness, can awaken and enter. Thus, none is can. Okay? This verse is very precise. Can here, what does can mean? It's a choice. Can you afford a membership of this expensive golf club in Japan? If you can, then if you can afford it, you can enter. All right? You got that, the translation? You see, can you see me sitting there every day and correcting every single line here of this Avatamsaka Sutra? You say, no, that's called the Chinese and have the Chinese check. Right? Oh, sudden today, the Chinese are so quiet. Oh, the Chinese speaking people are so quiet. I'm not going to move because Master's going to pick on me and criticize me in front of everyone. Okay? Okay, ignore the commentary. It's my commentary nonsense. Serves me right. Time is up, folks. Next time we continue 358. Thank you very much.